Welcome to the third of the podcasts from Past Forward, a series that looks at the heritage of Madras, that is Chennai. Today, we look at the cultural importance of Victoria Public Hall. For long, it was felt that Madras city needed a town hall, and this became reality in 1887 thanks to Sir Arundel Tagg Arundel, who was then the president of the Madras Corporation. He envisaged the structure to be a tribute to the Golden Jubilee of Queen Victoria. Designed by Robert Fellows Chisholm, the structure was thrown open by the then Governor of Madras, Lord Connemara. A principal part of the money that was required for putting up the building came via a donation from the Raja of Vijayanagaram. To build the hall, 3.5 acres from People's Park was carved out by the corporation and handed over to a board of trustees of Victoria Public Hall on a 99-year lease at the princely sum of 50 paisa a ground for every year. Almost from inception, VP Hall became a cultural hub for the city. It was here on 9th December 1896 that there was a cinematographic display when Madras saw films for the first time. These were small snippets with titles such as The Empress of Russia in Paris, Yoking the Mule, a parade, and discussing the cab fare and its result. The impact may not have been much, but the fact that today Chennai is a film capital owes much to the first screening that took place in this building. It was here on 7th February 1897 that Swami Vivekananda addressed the public of the city. He was then a celebrity, having just returned from the Parliament of Religions at Chicago. In 1906, on 20th October, the mood was far different when compared to Swami Vivekananda's meeting, for it was on this day that the public met here to discuss the fallout of the collapse of Arbuthnot and Company. Thousands had been rendered insolvent, even the Governor of Madras, Sir Arthur Lawley. 21st of April 1915 was a far happier occasion, for this was when Mahatma Gandhi and his wife Kasturba came here and were accorded a public reception. But if there was one single organization that put VP Hall on the cultural map of India, it was the Suguna Vilasa Sabha. Founded just a few years after VP Hall's construction, the very first staging of a play by the Suguna Vilasa Sabha was here, and that was in the year 1891. The prime mover of this Sabha was Pammal Samantha Mudaliyar, to whom Tamil theatre owes much. Pammal Samantha Mudaliyar and his friends, all of whom were university graduates, made a success out of their informal organization, and soon, being seen at one of the Suguna Vilasa Sabha's plays was the in thing in Madras society. In 1902, the Suguna Vilasa Sabha moved into VP Hall and made it its home. And between 1902 and 1935, this was where it had its most spectacular successes. In 1935, the Sabha moved out and constructed its own premises in Mount Road. A unique feature of the Suguna Vilasa Sabha was the fact that all the roles, including that of women, were performed by men. VP Hall was just not Suguna Vilasa Sabha, however. There were plenty of other performances, and two of the great stars from North India, Abdul Karim Khan and Gohar Jan, the Cuckoo of Calcutta, performed here in the 1930s. Several plays by other organizations were also staged here, and the revered C.N. Annadurai, later to become Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, was a frequent presence over here. Legend has it that this was where his disciple M.G. R.C.N. met him for the first time. All that, however, has now been forgotten in recent years. Prolonged litigation ensured that VP Hall was closed for decades, and finally, when it was handed over to the corporation in the 1990s, work on its restoration began. It is still not complete, and with the work on the metro railway progressing at a very tardy pace very close to the building, it is anybody's guess as to when VP Hall will once again become a center for culture in Chennai.